Toronto Raptors 99-95 loss to the Phoenix Suns. The top team in the NBA. They have the best record really in the league, Riker, and outside of Golden State, who just brought back Klay Thompson. I think they might be tied at this point. But without Gary Trent Jr., without Scotty Barnes, this was a solid showing for the Toronto Raptors.
I was interested in this game, Ben. 3 reasons. 1, you said it, top team in the NBA. Raptors have been winning some lesser matchups. And so this was an actual test for the Raptors, who some of the fan base is skeptical. Are they truly a playoff team? Is the seeding now actually a telling sign of what's to come for the Raptors in the rest of the season now? 2, having no Scotty Barnes, I was interested to see if OG would step up in this game and actually unleash the third best player of our big 3 on this team. And third, Phoenix is legit on D, Ben. So this was going to be a test for the creating offensive standpoint. We'll get into that, but I wasn't entirely impressed closing the fourth quarter, really from the final 6 minutes. So it was an interesting game, back and forth. They could have tied it to bring it into overtime. It was fun from start to finish. I have no real complaints about this from how the Raptors competed, Ben. What are your main thoughts?
Well, Riker, the big thing that we have to talk about in this game is the shooting, the percentages, the numbers in this one. You know, you alluded to it a little bit, but like the shots just weren't going down for a lot of our guys. Our big 3, you know, our core guys, and obviously Chris Boucher in terms of rebounding and hustling, and Champagnie off the bench, they play pretty solid. I'll get the little Champagnie
all right,
early in this podcast, right? But Riker, the 3-point shooting was absolutely ferocious. 0 for 5 from Pascal Siakam. 0 for 2 from Yuta Watanabe. 0 for 1 from Khem Birch. 4 for 13 from OG Anunoby, which is a lot of threes if you're not that hot, but he had to take them. 4 for 10 from Fred VanVleet, which is solid, but 0 for 3, 0 for 2, 0 for 1 off the bench, leading to, what is that percentage down there? 21% from the 3-point line. And we were getting some open ones. We were getting some good looks. I know Phoenix had a solid defensive scheme. They're a great rotational defense, all that sort of stuff. But we were getting some open looks that just could not go down for this Raptors squad. And that's going to kill you. That's going to kill you. And no matter the number of offensive rebounds we had, because Chris Boucher, you got to give a big shout out to him, because 13 points, still struggling from behind the arc, but is doing everything else out there on the court to earn his keep, to be a player that Nick Nurse can't keep on the bench, especially where we're limited at the center position. Had 16 boards tonight, 3 blocks, 1 very clutch block against Chris Paul. I thought he brought a lot of energy. We had Champagnie, who, you know, Yuta Watanabe got the start, but you know, someone mentioned early in this chat that he was out there doing cardio, running laps, doing some cardio, because wasn't doing much else, missed a lot of shots, and Justin Champagnie really was that guy off the bench, sort of on the wings, that was doing it for the Toronto Raptors. So that was solid. He was hustling, bringing the energy. Achua brought some energy, even though he still struggles with some of the fundamentals are still coming along for Precious, but I'll always be spewing the propaganda, Riker. People can't be hating. But the 3-point shots, the Raptors were cursed tonight from beyond the arc.
The 3-point, you just broke down every player there, Ben. I'm surprised when you said the thing I need to talk about wasn't Bismack Biyombo. I thought that might be one of the first things you talk about in this particular game. Seeing the Biz back in action.
5 boards in 5 minutes.
There you go. Not in the right jersey, Ben might say, but it was interesting to see him out there on the court. Ben, in this one, you're right. The 3-point shooting was pretty dismal. We've been hot. We've been accustomed now to the Raptors making those 3-pointers. So if you were to run this game back, right, if this was LA Fitness and there's not a ton of teams there waiting on the sideline to jump in there, and everybody's fired up saying, run this one back, you'd have the Raptors shoot better from the free throw line. I don't see them having another 60% free throw outing. They'd shoot better from the 3-point line. There'd probably be better play or foul calling on this one. I thought there was some weird calls on Booker. There was perhaps some weird calls on Siakam.
The ref apologist.
I'm saying I'm going to say it in this game because Maddie and Leo were saying they're letting the guys play. I'm saying they're not really letting the guys play. They're trying to take all the stars out of this one. They were targeting Booker. They were targeting Siakam. I think that it would be a better game from a flow perspective. You'd get better output from the stars on Phoenix and Toronto. And I don't know. I really like this matchup, Ben, overall. And there was some really good plays, some really bad plays. A lot of turnovers in this one in the third quarter and second and third quarter. And again, not the most amazing basketball. But if we're giving shout outs to Chris Boucher, I also got to give a shout out to Devin Booker because I was really impressed by his defense in tonight's game of basketball, Ben. So it was fun. That's all I got to say about that. I really want to attack that final 4 minutes, but I want to get all the positivity out before I lay into it. You know.
I see you, but we also have a super chat from Marcel Martin that we might have it's just a little rants. There's no overreactions really in this podcast, so it's either one way or another. But the one guy that I think we can get excited about and think should get the minutes is Marcel Martin's guy that he's mentioned, Justin Champagnie's the future. Regardless of if he's bad at anything else on the court, which he's not, because he can finish around the rim well. He's a solid three-point shooter, as we've seen in previous games, right? He does other things out there on the court. But even if he wasn't, in the same light as the Bismack Beyond, in honor of Bismack Beyond, but obviously the 5 rebounds for him tonight in 5 minutes, Justin Champagnie changes the game with his hustle. He has like magnets for hands in terms of the basketball just ends up coming to him. Right? It ends up in his hands. He's jumping over DeAndre Ayton, Smith, JaVale McGee. All those guys. They were no match for Justin Champagnie on the offensive glass tonight. And he has an NBA, everyone coming in the NBA obviously is skilled and can do things out there on the court. And Justin Champagnie's solid at, shooting all the things I mentioned, but he is elite. He is upper echelon in terms of hustling and rebounding. I think Jack Armstrong always uses the quote, or he always mentions on the broadcast that hustling's a skill because if it wasn't, everybody would be doing it or something like that, right? And Justin Champagnie's got that skill. And you know what? I'm playing the Champagnie.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Again, early in this podcast.
Ben, I made a note when he out-rebounded JaVale McGee. He jumped over JaVale, and I said that was crazy offensive rebound. Then he followed it up with another offensive rebound, another. He finished with 5 in this one, which it was a little bit overshadowed by Chris Boucher's 9. But remember, Chris Boucher did it in 37 minutes, and he played the whole game, whereas Champagnie had 10 minutes and got an offensive rebound every 2 minutes of action. It's crazy, and you can just see him really load up as soon as the ball jumps off the rim. He's there charging, bouncing up, getting his hand all over the ball, whether he's grabbing it down or tipping the ball in. It's super impressive to watch this dude.
Yeah, it's absolutely remarkable. Got to give the credit there. But Ryker, I know you want to dive into all the end of the game, and we'll probably move that into the segments. But keeping it on the positive, our big 3 continues to play well. Right? Not the craziest of efficient, but not bad at all by any means for any of the guys. Siakam, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. Like, you look at that game, he did foul out, which is something to be noted. However, we're looking at this now as sort of a subpar Siakam game, and that's when he's sort of back to where the guy that you want to be him. But he's doing a really good job of facilitating, especially when teams like the Phoenix Suns are collapsing on him, and at times they run those, especially a team like the Suns runs those weird defensive schemes where it's half zone, half man, and they just have 3 guys in the space, not fully committed to Siakam. He's now making really good reads on that low block to when, okay, do I force it here? Can I get my shot off? Or can I make one of those nice little dump off passes? Should I swing it across court? And he's really, you can see the effort in his eyes in making those passes because, I said energy is a skill. Passing is definitely an underrated skill in the NBA, and I think Siakam's doing a good job at that level. OG's knocking down shots. Obviously, like a few more of those threes to go down, especially the open ones, but his midi has been rocking. Then obviously Freddie All-Star. 21 points, 5 assists. Definitely his worst game than it feels like the past month, but still solid. Knocked down some timely buckets. What did you see from our Raptors big three tonight?
I got nothing to add to that, Ben. It's a fair assessment. I thought OG did pretty well with being pretty much clamped by Booker for a lot of this game, and was a couple of turnovers forced on all of them, which we're not, again, accustomed to seeing.
Yep.
It was a bit of a sloppy game in the third, but they all played pretty well. There was moments that I thought, wow, this team looks really good. We're competing against top of the West here. And there was moments where I said, all right, we got to get a little bit grounded here, and it'd be nice to have Gary Trent Jr. It'd be nice to have Scotty Barnes. When Achua and Birch, or there was moments, Achua and perhaps Champagnie, and we weren't looking to integrate them into the offense at all, right? They were just kind of running around. So you're playing 3 versus 5. They weren't a threat. You got to have some of your offensive guys or your spot up shooters out there on the court too. So again, you play this, you run this back, you make it a series of 7. I wouldn't count the Raptors out in this at all.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And as you mentioned, obviously I think they could look for Champagnie more because he is a solid 3-point shooter, and his finishing around the rim is proven. It's proven in the games that he's played. Precious, on the other hand, the Suns aren't even guarding him. He's hesitant to shoot middies. In the next possession, he's bricking threes. And you want those shots to go down. You don't mind him taking them because the potential's there. The flashes that he shows are always encouraging. However, it's never consistent on the offensive end. I think he does a good job on the defensive side of the ball, obviously bringing energy, and that's why Nick Nurse played him that long stretch. But you're gonna rant on the last 4 minutes of the game. The last couple minutes while Precious Achiuwa was out there, you're seeing, obviously he's not a rookie, but still a young player. And as we've seen with, Jalen Smith on the Phoenix Suns, who I know a lot of Raptors fans want to get, these big men take years to develop. They take years to sort of, especially if they're athletic coming in raw, right? They take a little while to sort of get those skills and get the ability to not only finish, just know where to be, know what the right shots are to take. And Precious is a decent form. You've seen that jumper go down occasionally. Just needs a little bit of work on it. I don't mind, I've even said it. I wouldn't mind if he got some opportunities to just play in the G League and really get those reps up, really screw up and do whatever he needs to do down there, and then play his more conservative role with the Raptors as we're trying to win games. But I think Precious Achiuwa is going to be good in the long term.
Well, we might as well stay positive with our guys, Ben. And I don't know if I said the word rant specifically, and we don't need to save it till the segments till I sound off. That I think, or I hope, was the phrase that I used. And it's not as bad as you might think. It's just a comment on the facts, which was the Raptors from minute 7 to minute 1. So 5 minutes in to 11 minutes in, they scored 1 field goal in the half-court set, which was a Pascal Siakam Euro step in the lane. Mm-hmm. Every other field goal scored was off an offensive rebound, which means the half-court offense sucked. It was really bad. They couldn't get a single good look in 6 minutes of action to close the fourth in a super close game. Yep. And that's what was a bit concerning to me, which is why I said, I think this really shows you need Gary, you need Scotty, you need guys that are creating pressure on the defense, particularly on the help D. And you want Nick Nurse to do a little bit better in offensive creating, especially when he sees his guys struggle to produce offense against a good defensive team. That's all I wanted to say, Ben, was that I was watching this thinking, when are they going to score in the half-court set off of a non-offensive rebound? And it just didn't happen.
Yeah, it is what it is, right? And you look at the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker, Chris Paul. Those are 2 guys that are proven to be able to get you buckets in the clutch. Fred VanVleet, they brought up a stat, 55% from the 3-point line, in clutch situations. Fred VanVleet, when he's getting them off the dribble, off the spot, we know he's Freddie Ice. We know he's not afraid of anything, or he's ready to go. But players that can get you their own shot, right? And Gary Trent Jr. really feels like that guy for the Toronto Raptors, right? He's the one that, off the dribble with tight defensive on him. Fred's taking pretty good shots and deep threes and all that, but if there's someone locked in on you, Fred's usually better at facilitating, driving in, and kicking to someone or something like that. But having a guy that can get you that shot. Devin Booker wasn't having the greatest night tonight on the offensive end, it felt like, from the eye test. What were his stats? Yeah, 16 points, 4 of 13 from the field. Same with Chris Paul, right? At the end of the game, they were able to pull up in the middies, and just get to their spots and knock it down automatic. And, Siakam struggles, as we've seen from last season, being able to get there. Fred VanVleet, just his size. We've seen him with Kyle Lowry. Unless he has develops a step back or something, which I'm sure give him a couple of weeks, given the rate of development and improvement for Fred VanVleet, that's coming, right? That's going to be that's something that we sort of need there. OG Anunoby, I think, could potentially do it, but he doesn't get the ball down the stretch. It's just the Fred VanVleet Siakam show. But Gary's a guy that I think you really miss in those situations, especially down the stretch. As you said, when the offense is stagnated, when the defense is packed in, you're not able to space the floor. Your shooters and Svi Mykhailiuk. We haven't even talked about...
And pause on that word. Pause on that word. Packed in. I think it was a minute and 20 seconds left, maybe a minute and 10. Raptors were down 1, or it was tied, or they were up 1. It's a ±1 swing from being tied here. Defense was packed in around the inbound on baseline. The ball went to Khem Birch in the corner. That's the only guy that was open. He took that corner 3. I like the confidence. I wasn't confident in him making it, and sure enough, it didn't go in, as you would expect. Now, if Scotty Barnes was out there, would you have the same feeling about him definitely missing? No. And if Gary Trent Jr. was there, absolutely not, even though he has been pretty bad from 3. That's the difference, right? Khem Birch wouldn't be out there in closing time. Champagnie wouldn't be out there in closing time. He'd be our best 5 guys. You'd have a better chance of closing out the game. So that's why I was still really happy with this one. And it'll be nice to, keep facing off against good teams when we have the healthy squad.
Yep, without a doubt. It's a weird podcast because you and I are both content, but there's no balloons playing or anything in this potty. The green screen, I still didn't edit it out for the balloons, but there's no crazy celebrations because we didn't get the win. So it's a weird state. It feels like
if we were on a 5-game losing streak and this was like our 6th loss, this would be like the most promising loss. So we'd be like, okay, we're ready to turn a corner here. Obviously, losing a 6-game winning streak, now a loss. You can't celebrate it that hard, but it was still a good game from like the big scheme of things. But Ben, we've been rambling, mainly me. Let's bring into the segment, shall we?
Let's swing into the segments. And it looks like I'm gonna jinx this now. The stream has been holding up solid. I've been chilling on the animations. My computer's coming in. What is it? Nine sleeps apparently. 9 sleeps till we get the craziness about to go off on the Raptors Digest. But Ryker, tonight the spicy Pile of the day. And was this the one? Yeah, this is the one that I didn't have. Yeah, I'm slacking on all this. Working on a lot of different stuff. But tonight, the spicy Pile of the day. The animation will return in the next podcast. There's definitely a few it could go to. And Chris Boucher had a few of those plays tonight. He had a backwards block on Chris Paul and another one at the end of the game on a 3-point shot. Obviously, Chris Boucher is always jumping on those threes and got one against one of the league's best players down the stretch in this one. You got to give credit to some nice Boucher blocks and Jack Armstrong on the call, always killing it out there. Those blocks were pretty fire. Did you see any other plays? There's a couple of nice OG shots as well. Any other plays you catch your eye?
I had it on a Birch block on CP3, and he swatted it like that. It was on like a fadeaway. He swatted it that way. It just was, I LOL'd because it wasn't like that intense, but he just like swatted emphatically, and I didn't know where it came from.
Did you lol, sir?
I LOL'd. Yes, sir, Ben. But not all can make you LOL, and some just make you say, oh, geez, Ben. And tonight's, oh, geez. I had a couple. I had one.
There's a bunch
Svi. Yeah, there was a lot. One Svi. Did you have Svi? Svi missed the putback dunk.
Yep.
That was a little bit awkward. All right, so that's my number one, was Svi missing a putback dunk. And obviously he got benched shortly thereafter. My number 2, OG got stuffed, and I have a couple of words that you can't say on YouTube due to censorship or whatever, but he got stuffed so hard. I like, whoa, gee, that hurt to watch.
You said, oh, geez, sir.
I said, oh, gee, he got swatted into the 4th dimension, Ben. That was a negative OG. Those are my big 2. What do you have?
Mine's going to Devin Booker at the end of this game. Obviously, he was memed consistently. For the double team thing. What are you double teaming in a pickup game for? And then ironically in the NBA Finals, loses on like basically a game-winning possession on Game 6 to a double team, gets the ball stripped. But this one might be worse. It won't get picked up because no one cares. But obviously fans are always going crazy in the background, waving their arms, getting everything going, trying to distract a shooter, all that sort of stuff. Right? That's just how it goes. That's what happens. But the away team has the luxury now in Toronto to have no fans there in the background, right? They don't have anyone to complain, to bang those rubber things or whatever they're called. And the mascot for the Toronto Raptors, the only guy besides the camera people and the reporters behind there, and he's probably doing something that a mascot does. There's one person there, and Devin Booker's going to the referee saying, sit that guy down, I can't shoot with him doing this or whatever he did. He's complaining. There's no fans. There's no one there. It's just the mascot, and they're going at him for when there's no fans. I don't know. Made me say, oh geez, Devin Booker. Just looking like a goofball out there shooting his free throws. I was hoping he missed it. I was hoping the Raptor would have gotten inside his head, but he ended up making them down the stretch.
Would have asked for that shot back, and the refs probably would have gave it to him. They did make the mascot go back into the tunnel and sit down. So, hey, it's a players' league, Ben. It's a players' league. If you saw me looking around frantically, I was looking for the actual kazoo to lead into our final segment, the Paul Pierce Golden Kazoo. The worst performance in this one. Worst performance or worst fit, Ben? Gary Trent Jr.'s poncho. Did you see that on the sideline?
Bro, that's going to the spicy filet of the day. I don't know. It's looking like something out of Assassin's Creed. Rocking it's not even a poncho. I don't know what it was, man.
It was a poncho with a zipper in the middle. That's what it was. It was weird. And I don't get fashion, but I felt uncomfortable looking at it.
It had a hood.
I don't know. I think ponchos just means it drapes over your shoulders like one big blanket with a hole in the neck or something.
I thought it had a hood as well. That's what.
Ponchos can have hoods.
Yeah. So it looked like something could be in Assassin's Creed. I guess they're not wearing ponchos in Assassin's Creed, but just gave me those vibes.
But Ben, that was one I needed to point out. But my actual gold kazoo in this one was closeouts, and we talk about it from time to time when it's really bad. And this was one of those games where Jay Crowder, shooting the lights out, but instead of shuffling to a closeout, fundamental basketball, everybody was jumping way past, jumping out past them, skipping and hopping. It was really weird, instead of just shuffling out, playing kind of closeout style basketball, they were just flying past the shooters in this one. They didn't punish them. They only shot 34%, did Phoenix, from the three in this game, but the closeouts were bad. They were non-existent.
Sprint, slide, stutter, Ryker. Sprint, slide, stutter. There's a lack of sprint, slide, stutter in there for the Toronto Raptors. A lot of, people got excited when Chris Boucher was getting those blocks on the three-point line, so everyone's either just jumping out at them or they're saying, oh, I can't get the block, I'm just going to stand there and chill. It's the duality of Chris Boucher's closeouts from the three-point line, but it is what it is. I think you also got to give a golden kazoo. I was going to say gold star, but I guess it could be a, honorary gold star, because when 3-and-D, in theory, wing players struggle in their opportunities, it gives you flashbacks of Damari Carroll, and Yuta Watanabe gave me those flashbacks in this game tonight, Ryker. It's tough. Not to throw him on.
If you're classifying Yuta as a 3-and-D guy, we have bigger issues here, man.
We certainly do. But, if he just came back from health and safety protocols, so maybe, it's tough coming back from those situations. So I'm not going to obviously throw Yuta under the bus or anything like that, but you want him to at least hit one of those open threes, or, if they're not guarding him, if the Suns aren't even closing out on the guy, drive into the lane. He's a long dude. He's athletic. He can dunk on some people. Finish something in the lane. He's had a few possessions now in the last few games that he's played where he has a lane. Right, people aren't really focused on closing him out, getting him off there, because he doesn't have a horrible dribble. He can actually go off the lane a bit, but once he goes into traffic and there's a bit of help, he just doesn't use his body correctly to finish around the rim. He gets swatted a bunch. He's up there enough to where I feel like he could just dunk it on some people, but he never really goes for it. I don't know. I think Utah's finishing around the rim just maneuvering his body, having a bit more body control, could really unlock his game a little bit more, and then obviously getting more consistent behind the 3-point line.
That's it. You realize that our depth isn't that great. I mean, particularly when we're keeping Flynn on the bench. And would you have preferred to start Flynn tonight's game? Go a classic 1-2 of Flynn and Fred VanVleet?
Maybe.
You probably couldn't. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was going to say you couldn't because you haven't given enough minutes.
Yep.
And then you just bring back Yuta Watanabe and put him right into the starting lineup. So tough from a coach's decision. It wasn't a terrible game. It was pretty close. I'm fine with it. You're fine with it, Ben. Let's see if everybody else is fine with it. Play that final alarm. Give everybody 2 minutes exactly to ask questions before we wrap this bad boy up.
Exactly 2 minutes, of course. Woo, 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 woo. Beep, 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 beep. That's right. The final alarm has sounded. We don't have the noise on this final alarm. We're back to Ryker and I, our classic alarm. And as is tradition, 20 obviously people aren't too excited with the Raptors loss after a bunch of W's, so it is what it is. Only 22 likes. Let's get that spiked. Get that like in spiking in the chat. Let's see what people are saying. Bueno Kitty. Golden Kazoo. Honestly, should be Raps free throw shooting. 50% heard. And yeah, that's something we didn't mention. That was trash. Our free throw shooting was absolute garbage in this game. But I'm happy we knocked him down in the clutch, it felt like. OG knocked a couple down. Birch hit a couple. Obviously, Fred intentionally missed the last free throw. But we're not going to win if we're 21% from the 3-point line. And what were we from the free throw line? Yeah, 60%.
60%. Yep.
That's tough. But
no kazoo.
Yeah, where's your
Can't
kazoo
find it
at,
anywhere.
Riker?
I don't know.
We got a crispy stream, it feels like, and no kazoos, but it is what it is. Yeah, let us know in the chat too. The audio, I got a new mic set up because my old one was crackling. I adjusted the frames per second. I switched the browser, so hopefully no more lags. Hopefully no more random stuff. And then when the new computer comes in, we're going crazy with the live stream. It's gonna be nuts. But let us know how it's all sounding, how it's producing, going there. But Bueno Kitty, bringing the Wii-U's in. But missed Ryan Stanford. We missed 10 from the free throw lines, 60%, yeah. Jen from Genfro saying, are Ben and Riker going to ball? Well, we were supposed to. We had it all planned out, and then lockdowns occurred in Newfoundland, or gyms were messed up.
There was a certain pandemic that altered the old plans.
Yeah. And we would have played, but the gym that like you can go to in Newfoundland that we would traditionally go to, and you know, they don't let you play game. This is confusing. I don't know if this is the case other places, but they won't let you play games. But they will let 50 odd people shoot around at the same net. But the second, even though if you're within 6 inches of someone, right? Even if you're right coddled up next to each other, just shooting shots. But the second you start playing a game, it's a big no-no, and they come over and kick you out. I don't know. I feel like that.
Even one-on-ones, you can pass to somebody, but as soon as you get a hand up, to contest a shot, whoa, crossing the old, spreading, distancing rules there with that. So,
yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But Brandon Toll saying horrible 3-point shooting in this game. The guys did battle though. Loved the effort. Just weren't sharp enough with our offense tonight. Missed free throws hurt us big time. So many turnovers. Yeah, that's the Raptors. You gotta respect the hustle. If there's a game to ever say that, this is the game. They missed all their shots. It felt like, but got every single rebound, but then missed them again. So it didn't do much for the Raptors. But Chris Boucher, I feel like upped his stock on his birthday tonight.
Let me hear this too, because I feel like everybody's played basketball that watches these podcasts. Everybody's probably shot around once in their life or more. And I feel like everybody's taken it's classic. You're playing with your friends. You say, all right, you shoot 10, I shoot 10, right? I'm sure everybody's done that at least once. Let's hear what is your average free throw percentage based on any time that you've gone, you shoot 10, I shoot 10, because I would say that I'm probably around 60 or 70% on an average day. On a good day, I'm probably more around 80 or 90%. But on an average day, I'm choking on 2 or 3 of those, maybe laughing on one. It's probably around 60 or 70%. Ben's a little bit cleaner than I am, but if you're getting paid a lot more money than we are, you should probably make more than I can. How many can you guys make? That's what I'm curious too.
Yeah. Well, we grew up on the you got to make them in a row, right? That's not the shoot 10.
I think I've made 10 in a row in like one time in my entire life.
Really? Blair wouldn't let us like leave practice until someone made like 17 or something.
Oh, you not remember how many times we ran because people couldn't make free throws? Do you not remember how fantastic the cardio was on our team because we were so bad at shooting?
Hey, it is what it is. We're streaky. It is what it is. Lumpy Rex is out here saying OG totally out for most improved player? Question mark.
Totally what?
Out. Do you think he no way he can win most improved player now? Because he was looking like he could potentially get it at the start of the year.
Nah.
I think he could bring it back. Stays healthy, continues to up the stats. Nah. Raptors continue to shoot up the standings. I think it's possible.
Nah. I'm not seeing it. He shot 40% from 3 last year, 48% from the field, 16 points per game.
Lumpy Rex is asking if he's totally out. I'm saying he's not.
He's totally out, baby. He's gone.
Gonzo like Lonzo. But Precious getting free reign to shoot. No one respects him. Yeah, Precious got to start knocking down those shots. That's facts. I got to get more propaganda going, maybe. I was caught on the propaganda at the start of the year. He's playing well. Now is struggling to get that shot going. But he's hustling, so it's good. Bueno Kitty's dropping the like section for a live chat post-game tonight. Bueno Kitty, the legend.
Live
always
what?
Getting a little like spike going. But what moves you think Masai and Bobby going to make at the deadline? Since Philly's packaging Harris and Simmons together, maybe be interested? I don't think we're getting...
Who?
Did you hear that? Yeah, apparently in a Ben Simmons trade, young socialite, they want to package Tobias Harris in a deal. So somehow they're going to try and send out like $70 million in one trade.
Oh, gee.
So we'll see if that's possible. I said it on the Courtside Digest. They could probably split them or give them to a bunch of different teams and get some guys back. But I don't know. If you're giving up Harris, why would you want to give up Simmons? But yeah, that's a take. But people are bringing in. They're talking about their shooting splits. And
yeah, let's see it. Bring them out.
Jen from Jeffro saying, "Do you still believe we'll finish top 4?" Yes, we're finishing top 4. We'll never bounce off that take. And so Jen Friend's a 1 for 10. I like it. L Trickster's about 76%. I'm solid. Okay, I like the precise digits there. Bueno Kitty's 80% from the free throw line, 20% from the field. But dime game is decent. I can see Bueno Kitty getting some fresh dimes, some fresh games. But Brandon Tull, higher percentage from the floor and 3 than free throws. Jeez. But I'm just over 50%. You're shooting over 50% from 3, Brandon Tull? We might need to sign you to the Toronto Raptors, sir. But L Trickster hit 23 threes in a row. That's pretty solid. 23 threes in a row that's pretty cooking. What is this?
See this? Extra strength, melatonin. Forgot to take it an hour ago, Ben.
Hey, that's why you're energetic today, sir.
That's why the energy is up. The energy is high. The criticisms have been few and far between.
Yep.
Not one, but 2. Get these boys in there.
We're gonna have to stop before Ryker gets start passing out on these pods, but we'll K in that water. The toppest quality content. This is I much prefer Boucher's hustle games rather than him trying to put up tons of points. Matthew, I skipped over a bunch. We got Jordan Peterson. Jen from Genfro's asking about Jordan Peterson. Apparently he went to McGill. That's a fact. So shout out McGill.
Any non-basketball related thing, non-basketball reference, I'm not able to comment on.
You don't know old Jordan JP. He's a big YouTube
Jordan
guy.
Peterson, Canadian
He
clinical
pops up on like those
psychologist.
influential Instagram
Yeah.
posts with like Joe Rogan and all that.
Unless he's talked about the psychology of basketball, Ben, I'm not interested. This is a Raptors Digest podcast, sir.
Hey, Big Sneeze needs to drive hard and kick. Achoo! Achoo! I love that nickname. You gotta think about it a little bit every time, but it comes in hot.
Then the lights be dimming. The
Matthew
lights be
Winter
dimming.
is 100% from 3. Papa Molly just to start off. 1-800-Lunatic is just wilding out here. Look at the face on Ryker switching up the lights. Yeah,
The lights be dimming, Ben.
the lights be dimming.
The lights be dimming.
This pod, more mellow. Probably our most mellow podcast, I feel like, of the season.
Did you listen to the Weeknd's album?
Not really.
You don't really listen to the Weeknd, do you?
Like, I like him, but he's never.
You don't listen to.
rotation.
You don't listen to Gunna either.
Like, again, he's another guy that like you throw on his music.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I enjoy it, but it's like it's never really sought out.
This wasn't a big Weeknd music for you. I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Wait,
I started to
Gunna
listen to
drop an
Weeknd.
album too?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I didn't even know that.
DS forever.
DS
DS forever.
forever. And Brandon Toll's asking for the.
You smooth,
You didn't listen to the Halsey.
you're creamy,
Did you listen to Tory
you
Lanez?
taste like butter,
That's an album I listened to.
you're butter.
The more I listen to it, the less I enjoy
Oh
it.
my god, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get
Hate to say it.
out of here.
Hate to
Tory
say it.
Lanez is the GOAT. Is the
Yeah.
GOAT.
No,
In
I'm
music.
enjoying it less and less. I've also listened to it probably 50 times at the gym, so is what it is.
Bro, you're telling me you jam out to some tunes, you're working out, you're grinding, you're
Yes, sir. I just be listening to Baby Keem on repeat. I don't know
right.
why, but
Well, I'm saying, and you somehow dislike Tory Lanez while you're at the gym listening to it on repeat. It's a bang.
somehow it's like wearing off of me the more I listen to it. Not Lady of Namek or however you pronounce that, but is what it is.
That album's good. Oh, apparently the butter animation. I got rid of the noise on it. I had like a commercial for butter in the back, and apparently it broke people's ears. You know, we had to mess up something on our mellow pod. That's how do I make?
Wait, there was sound on the butter animation?
Yeah, it's like a butter commercial.
What? Oh.
But then I was like, you know what, Milky's better, so I like it. It was asked for. It was Brandon Tull. It was honor of Brandon Tull. But someone said something. There's some music takes happening in the chat.
I said it just to stir the pot because I made a comment on CLB and people did not appreciate.
Do you
at
like
all.
CLB or not like it?
I didn't enjoy it. No.
Yeah.
I feel like Drake's creativity over time has like become less and less. I feel like he puts more energy into his singles now than his albums, where he used to be the other way around. And this is me as a fan of Drake saying this. I'm not like a hater or anything. I just
Champagne Poppy.
Yeah. All right.
Champagne Poppy. Phil B is saying I'm a Cardi B type of guy.
oh
So-
gosh,
That's tough. Do I strike you as that?
that sentence hurt
Do
just
I
to
strike
listen
you
to.
as that? I once edited a video for one of my friends. He did a Cardi B remix. What was the one? What was her like big song?
Bodak
you-
Yellow.
Yeah. Bodak Yellow. It was that one, and he did a remix for it, and I did like a cool edit for him. And he's the guy that did our intro music. So he made our Raptors Digest intro music, and then I made him this video with the sound waves going to his remix of Bodak Yellow, and now I can't stop. Like that song is just ingrained in my head, and it makes me sad. But 1-800-Lunatic, dropping some songs in the chat. Dropping some songs. The Recipe by Kendrick Lamar, that's a banger. Mad Sylvie, Mad City, that's a classic. Classics. Drake's last good album was Scorpion. What are your thoughts
That's
on
a
that?
tough, good album call too. There was a couple good songs off
There's
that,
some good
but-
songs in Scorpion. It's tough though.
And this is Ben is like a Drake super fan. He doesn't even really like Scorpion, to be fair. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I've mellowed off on Drake a bit. I've liked his I don't know, views.
my
Is
hot take is he's run out of things to
yeah,
talk about.
exactly.
That's my hot take.
You know, he needs a
You hear the news about Drake? What he's getting sued for?
what?
Oh, I can't say it. If you've heard it, you've heard it. If you haven't, I can't say it. It involves hot sauce and a girl trying to become baby mommy number 2.
I wish I had Spicy P animation here. The Spicy P layout of the day. Well, that's a yikes.
Yep.
I have to.
Anyways,
give that a
Ben,
search
that's
after this one.
Yep. In a roundabout way, Drake is the ambassador to the Toronto Raptors. So if anybody was wondering how we've gone so far off the rails, that's the very rough or very weak connection that we have that's holding us, tethering us to still being a Toronto Raptors podcast. But Ben, do you have anything else left to say in this one before I get way too tired and uncontrolled here?
No Worries is dropping a new album.
Really?
Yeah. That's Anderson .Paak put on his New Year's resolution, his first resolution, so hopefully it means it's coming early. Finish No Worries album.
Ooh.
That's people want to hear my music days. Anderson .Paak and Tory Lanez.
It's Anderson .Paak and Frank Ocean, but Frank just
Frank's
becomes sadder
dead,
and sadder over time.
Nah, Frank's gone. I haven't listened to Frank all like the past.
He's
year.
gone,
Yeah, he's gone. I'm a happy boy.
bro. Are you even a Frank fan?
It was good for focus. No, if he drops a new album, I'm gonna jam out to it. But it's Tame Impala. Tame Impala. I'm like a basic man's.
Can't believe
But,
this blasphemy.
Anderson .Paak, Tame Impala, and then keep it like that classic stuff, and then just throw in some Tory Lanez to add a bit of chaos.
There is no comments, man.
No comments? No comments from Riker. Ben, check out Kasky. Have you heard of Kasky?
No. Can we sign this thing off?
No, bro. You brought up some music talk. You know? You got Mac Miller. You're a big Mac guy. I like Mac Miller.
A huge Mac Miller guy, but only 2 albums. Only Divine Feminine.
Divine Feminine.
And
you were
Swimming.
a ladder. The album with ladders.
Yeah, I think it's called Swimming. But
Swimming?
let me check.
Well, his last song was very similar to that.
What?
The one that he dropped like posthumously.
Yeah.
That
It's
one's
called
a banger.
Swimming, yeah. Divine Feminine Swimming. I didn't like that other one. Whatever it's called. Circles. Didn't love Circles.
Oh, Circles is that one. That's what I'm thinking of. I really like Circles. And then
Circles is his most recent one
Yeah.
after he died.
Yeah.
Swimming is the one with ladders on it.
I don't know. I liked all his old stuff though. I was a big watching movies with the sound off and all.
No, because he became like jazzy. He became like influenced by like jazz and bass, and he did a bunch of stuff with Thundercat, who's just like this epic bass guitarist who collaborated with Silk Sonic on their album.
The music he made adjusted with my taste, which I really like. Because when I was kiddo, I liked his bouncy, just bars and stuff. And then I got older, it was like some smoother stuff. It's gonna be a vibe. Yeah, I'm reading Western philosophy. I feel like I'm just gonna start listening to Mozart in the future. We got some little peep in the chat too.
All right, 11:11. Make a wish. Time to sign off here, Ben. You can keep going, but
it's 12:40. You guys have us make this far. Check out the Instagram, the Twitter, the TikTok, all that cool stuff. Lots of big stuff coming. Got a new everyone that's made it past our music takes, all of our mentions. We appreciate all you guys mentioning some stuff in the chat. But we'll leave a little nugget for you. New format, new setup coming in the coming days. I'm gonna do some test runs. I might have to wait till we're on the new computer, but we got some big things planned, so definitely check that out. But guys, y'all are the best to make this far. Channel memberships will be back soon as well. Check out your merch. Riker, do you have any last words on the Raptors? I felt like W. It felt like a neutral game. No loss, no win, just serenity. On the game.
Good way to put it, Ben.
The Suns.
Cheers.